Mic check. Mic check, mic check, mic chickity check, check me out. Whoa.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the FEDcast. Today, we are joined with Jay Workaholic from the Rap Podcast. And, just initially, we have to start out. Dude, is the Workaholic Podcast coming back?
Dang. Did you say all the heavy questions for the beginning?
I mean, just to start out.
All right, yes. The work. Oh, I feel like I'm too close, too loud. I think that's the thing with me. I'm too loud for most mics. Even Johnny has an issue with me. He's like, all right, let me turn you down. We are working on bringing back the Workaholic Podcast. That, and since you're already asking the hard-hitting questions, one more additional podcast to the mix.
Oh, you're gonna under the Workaholic brand 3?
Under the Workaholic brand, yeah.
Okay.
So we're working on bringing back a few podcasts. It's just scheduling right now. It's really, really tough.
It's always scheduling. That's the issue.
Yeah. Workaholic really works with me and Aramis, so I'm trying to we're gonna try to figure out how we could do it on Saturday. So do 2 podcasts on the same day.
Yeah.
But we're really gonna focus on not being on top of like current topics. That way it sounds timeless and we can still talk about random shit.
As we're talking about that, I've ran into that recently where I've like the Mavericks are in the playoffs. So I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, well, hopefully we're in Western Conference Finals. Hopefully this happens. And by the time I upload, it's just not happening.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind getting glimpses of like real time, ongoing time things. Only reason for that is like, oh man, I like seeing the reactions off people. I like seeing the reactions off like the current rap beef that was going on. I like seeing reactions of past things that happened. Like I remember, I go back from time to time to go listen to Joe Budden and listen to Drake and Pusha T's beef. Like that still to me is like a fun era to visit. So like the catching the moment isn't so hard. But I think for me on a weekly basis, I don't want to have it keep, how can I word this? I don't want it to be a repetitive thing. I mean, if we're going to capture the moment of one thing, that's fine. But if we're going to be capturing the moment every other week, then that. I don't want to sound tardy.
Yeah. Because that with the Drake and Kendrick beef, it was extremely hard to stay on top of it when you had 6 songs drop in a week and a half.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and that forced us to jump on Instagram Live and on YouTube Live and stuff like that. Shit that
y'all normally don't.
We normally don't do, and like Johnny's working behind the scenes to make it seem flawless and like seamless. But it's like, oh shit! The second that we record, we finish a whole hour and a half worth of podcast, and then literally hours after that, another. Something drops and like shit, we didn't talk about that, and everybody's gonna be looking for it on Monday. So we tried going live a couple of times. It's fun actually. I going live is probably something that you'll probably see us doing in the near future. We just gotta time it right.
Yeah,
it's just we finding the right time because we drop on Monday and then I work the night shift throughout the whole week. I might just depend on Johnny and Aramis to do that, but
yeah.
It's hard to stay on current events.
Yeah, and that's because I've gone back and I've listened to. I know I listened to the majority of the last episode of the Workaholic Podcast y'all did, and it was all 3 of y'all, right? The last one y'all did probably like I want to say like 2 or 3 months ago.
Now I gotta look it up. But Workaholics was one that I actually didn't think that really many people fuck with. It was just really raunchy to me, but it worked. Everybody keeps asking, when is that one coming back? When is that one coming back? I'm like, okay.
Well, because I think it's... Because that's what I got to talk to Johnny about before. Because the Rap Podcast is topical. So you're talking about rap music. You're talking about new music releases, new artists that send in. You're reviewing music. But at the same time, some people just want to hear y'all's views on normal, everyday kind of things. So I think that's why that it gets... like, okay, I've heard them talk about rap. What else can they talk about? And I think that's why the Workaholic gets that. Because I listened to it, and it was just funny. Like, I just seemed like you were talking shit the whole time.
Yeah, that's how it started. At first, it was going to be like a whole... It was going to be structured a little bit. But at the time when I started recording Workaholics, I was like, I really can't be picky because I don't have a guest. And Aramis was him and Will, who was one of the first co-hosts on the Workaholic podcast. They were thinking about starting a podcast together, sports related, but they wanted to start one. And I was like, well, shit. I started giving them ideas. I started telling them, hey, I could work on y'all's intro. Just let me know. I could help y'all. I wanted someone to help me the same way that I was helping them. And then I was like, hey, well, if y'all want to get y'all's feet wet, let's go do a podcast. I've been meaning to start up a new podcast. And sure enough, they fell in love with it. They thought it was funny and hilarious. And yeah, it was a bit awkward.
Yeah.
But they were like, man, actually, we was kind of hoping we should start with you. And I said, by all means. But it just became its own freestyle thing. It was just like, what did you see on your phone this week that was hilarious to you?
Yeah.
Like, what can we milk for the next 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And it was literally just meme culture. It was just what was funny. What did we want to talk about? There were times where I wanted to talk about very, very serious topics, and I was like, it's just not going to go.
Yeah. That was the whole concept with the FEDcast, facing and embracing demons. And I mean, it's really just turned into the shit that helps me keeps me sane, like fucking wrestling.
What keeps the demons at bay?
Yeah, like, hey guys, let's hang out and watch wrestling together. Like, that's all it really turned into. And I mean, occasionally we'll touch on stuff that keeps us mentally stable or that positive mentalities and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, talking serious topics, that's not my audience. The people that listen, and because like,
well, you don't know that.
I don't know that.
You don't know that.
The people that repost my shit are not looking for something serious. I don't think. I mean, but at the end of the day, like, we still try to hit on some hard hitting topics, but there's a lot of research that goes into that, and you don't want to come across, bro. So there's a lost episode that I uploaded it as the lost episode of the Fed show back then before I changed it to the FEDcast. But we were talking about school shootings. And I was going through statistics, and then we recorded that on a Sunday morning, and I hadn't looked at any news feeds or anything. And there was a school shooting or a mass shooting like Saturday night. So I was like, if I release this right now, some of the way that I said certain things may come across like
as insensitive.
Yeah, insensitive.
It's all about timing too, especially with sensitive topics like that.
So that's why I was like, so I went back through and I cut the stuff out because I didn't want it to sound. And then when I uploaded it, I mean, it got like 25 or 30 views just because people were like, oh, it's a lost episode. What would they talk about? And we really didn't talk about nothing. It was just random shit, like a weekly update of what we had gone through.
I will tell you this. From people like you and I who like to joke around on podcasts, and I may even add a dark sense of humor.
Yes.
I think our takes on serious topics have a larger impact as of those two who are constantly on their self-aware, third eye open type shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
no, it makes sense.
Whenever the funny kid has something serious to say, everybody shuts up and listens. I feel like, because there's definitely people like, there's people that I take very, very serious in my life, but whenever the loud, goofy kid comes in and doesn't say a word, I'm like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And that makes you pay attention just a little bit more. Yeah. And I've never adjusted on any other podcast, but that's kind of what the third podcast is around. Okay. It's like, all right, let's cut the lights off. Let's be serious for a little bit.
And I think because I tried to shed that light, and I tried to have some guests that wanted to talk about certain things. And we, like, early on when the Fed show, when it reformed, I had Kevin Tyrone, Godbold, the artist. He came on and he wanted to talk about men of color, our upbringing, our relationships with our fathers, how we're looked at as fathers. And it was a heavy topic. And we had our jokes in here in between, but the message came across, and I felt it went really good. And then I had Tavo the Trill on, who's now Octavio, and we talked about like the machismo and the arrogancy, and we had those conversations, and they're good. But the thing is, not everybody wants to have those conversations. And then people are like, oh, yeah, I'd love to come on and talk about this, this, and this. All right, cool. Let's do it next Saturday. And they're like, oh, I kind of like to just go with the flow and see what happens. It's like, that's not the way this works. Like, because I told you a long time ago, yeah, man, we'll get it together, and it just doesn't happen. You literally have to, like, okay. And then even this one, we were going to do Monday, and life happens.
And life happens.
And
God damn that life of ours.
And I literally thought we were going to have to push it another 2 weeks out. And then you were like, no, let's make something. We'll figure it out.
And I was telling the guys, because I was like, man, this was literally the only thing I was looking forward to. Like, work has been killing me.
I'm right there with you.
I'm working 60 hours a week, and I'm only getting paid for 40 of them. And it's not fun because once you start putting that shit in your head, it's like, all right, no, after 4 o'clock, I'm just working for free and yada yada yada. And I was killing myself because I'm really replacing someone else for the time being. So I'm doing my job, and I'm literally doing someone else's job, not even a fraction of it, just someone's whole entire job. So I'm doing my 8 hours plus someone else's 8 hours. And I was like, I'm not going to let this get to me. And then sure enough, I was like, I'm going to leave at 7. I'm going to take a short nap once I get home, and then I'll wake up just in time. Nope, I got off like I think close to 9, and I was like, fucking shit, dude.
I was literally on my phone. I had woke up because I was like, all right, I got to be up at about 9 because I told you 10, and I was like, it's holiday. I don't have anything else going today, and I'm there, and I turned off my alarm, and I'm scrolling through Instagram, and then you messaged me. It's like, bro, I just got off. I was like, it's cool, man. Like, I get it because it's happened multiple times before when someone, like, I would rather people just tell me as soon as they kind of know, like, it's not going to happen. All right, cool. And dude, I used to try to keep this hectic schedule of podcasting where I would try, when the weeks I didn't have my kids, I would try to get 3 podcasts in.
Oh, shit.
And I would try to upload all of those the night after I recorded them. And I was just bam, 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 putting them out. Like, not even consistency, just flooding it, just pushing as much content out as I could.
How did that work? Did that actually happen?
Yeah, it did.
Did it feel like it was forced?
Some of the conversations did seem forced to me, but it was because I was trying, like when you're trying to, like as a music artist, like a rapper would come in, you kind of want to flood on some level so you have a catalog so people can go back and listen to. So I was like, I'm just going to put as many episodes as I can. Dude, I stopped counting my episodes. I stopped putting numbers on them. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm just going to keep doing it. And if someone wants to listen, I appreciate you. Talk shit in the comments. That's fine. But besides that, it's keeping count of them. Because someone was like, how many episodes do you have? I don't even know anymore. Because I remember I got to like 56 episodes when it was the Six Pack podcast when I was drinking. But 20 of those are just me and Vincent getting fucked up in the garage or in a car or wherever we could record at that time. And bro, I went backwards. Like, so I went straight to video and straight to YouTube. I didn't have Apple Podcasts. I didn't have Spotify. I didn't have any. Johnny was the one that was like, hey man, look into this. And I was really like, I didn't even know this was a thing. He goes, you already have the video. You can rip the audio and just upload it.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, so basically everything that I had, I went back and I grabbed certain episodes and ripped the audio.
Shout out to Johnny, man. Johnny has really been influencing a lot of the podcasters out here too.
Yeah, I mean,
he's been helping with like introductions and
the intro,
promos and banners and connecting all the podcasts. Because I think before me and Johnny, we've been knowing each other for a while. Like the last podcast, I don't know how it happened. It was just we were talking shit, and all of a sudden, I was just like, "Let me see if I could get this dude to come to my house. You want a haircut, bro? I cut hair." And from there, I don't know what happened. I think the relationship kind of expanded a little bit, just because everybody has that relationship with a barber.
Yeah.
It's like that little vulnerability, I guess, quote unquote, if you want to call it, whenever someone's getting their hair cut and you just like, oh man, you just want to talk about your day, you just want to vent, and you don't even realize that you're venting.
Yeah.
And
you get to know someone real well when they cut your hair.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you have to trust that guy too a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you just got to go off the first haircut. Then you can see how much you can trust them. I was like, all right, no, I don't trust you. You push my hair back line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My edge up is all the way up. But the fact that I cut his hair and the fact that we kept on seeing each other every day just added on top of it. So it feels like I've been knowing him for a long time. But truth be told, maybe I want to say going on a decade, maybe.
And y'all barely started podcasting, what, 2 years ago? Has it been 2 years?
It's probably been a little longer than that because Johnny was kind of helping me a little bit.
On
Well,
Workaholic?
not really helping me, but he was supporting. No, I'm talking about the first podcast. I started one in, what year was this? 2016, I want to say. It was called Uncensored Minds, and it was going to be a little bit of an educational slash entertainment one. And the first one, very first episode, was a hot topic. It was not a hot topic. It was on why can Hispanics say the N-word and white people can't. It was something so stupid, but it was a very entertaining conversation. And then we had our token black friend on there just to moderate. No, it was one of my close friends at that time, man. I don't know where he's at now, but life kind of separates us. But Johnny would support, Johnny would share, Johnny would listen, and then Johnny was never really the talkative type ever.
Yeah.
Like,
he's gone on record and said that.
No, dude, you have no idea. Like,
no, I do, because when he first started the rap podcast, like, he was, and even now, bro,
and even then,
how you doing today, Johnny? Okay. And like,
if you've been hearing the latest episodes, he doesn't even. I ask him, "How are you doing, Johnny?" and he doesn't say nothing. I'm like, man,
yeah, I know.
Man, I ain't gonna ask you no more. Like, I want genuine answers whenever I ask. I'm like, "How y'all doing?" I'm doing all right, man. I did this. I did. Nope, it's good. All right. We just try to talk for a living, but go ahead. Give me the one answer response.
Yeah,
Y'all to like some dry ass, one-sided conversations. Have you ever been in a relationship where you was texting a girl and it's like just one word replies and she's like, "Why didn't you text me back?"
Yeah, she's not into you.
Yeah, no.
I remember
She's replying to 7 other people.
Yeah, I remember.
That's how I feel about Johnny.
I remember I was talking to a girl one time at a water park, and I was like, man, I was spitting the game, thought I was getting somewhere, and then my buddy was like, "Hey, bro, come here." I was like, he's like, "Hey, what have you told her about?" I go, "Man, I told her where I'm from and kind of like a little bit about my life here." And he goes, "What do you know about her?" I was like, "Well, I know her name." He goes, "She don't like you, bro." He goes, "You've been talking to that girl for like 30 minutes.
And don't know a single thing about her.
And she's right there, like, listening, and she looks like she's paying attention to you, but you're talking and she's listening."
My dumbass would have been, "She's a great listener." No.
He goes, "Just leave her alone, bro." And I was like,
"That's true."
All right, bet, bro. You right. Like, I'll just leave her alone. But what if? No.
We put those scenarios in our heads.
Those what ifs, man.
Yeah. So
what if I would have kept talking to her? You never know.
So Johnny was the one word replier in real life.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is like he was never really talkative, and he started getting more comfortable. And I was like, if we could grab this Johnny that I get to talk to every time in the barber chair,
yeah,
or when we're alone on the mic, I think we'd be good. And slowly but surely, like, I got him there. He had some practice on the Uncensored Minds, and then when then he started to get hands on the Workaholic, and he was doing things behind the scene, and I was like, just hop on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we had mics. We were sharing one mic at that time.
I was talking with someone the other day. I was like, I started with USB mics plugged into a splitter, plugged into my iPhone, and I know like y'all used to pass mics.
No, we didn't pass mics. It was literally a Blue Yeti mic.
Oh, you just had the
sitting
one
in the
table?
center. Yep.
Oh yeah.
And according to the advertisement, which I'm starting to think is a bunch of bull.
It's supposed to pick up the whole room.
Yeah, it's supposed to pick up the whole room. It has like 3 internal mics, so I have it facing. I was like, all right. I take off the little the pop filter, and I get to see where all 3 mics are. And I'm like, all right, if we all just stay focused and stay looking at the mic, we should be able to pick up audio. And we had to make up for, content over the quality, because the quality was not there.
Yeah.
But then Johnny started, making some purchases and to help out the pod. I'm like, dude, you're helping the pod so much. I want you to be part of it, not just like.
Yeah.
He's right now. He was at that time where my brother is now, like behind the scenes and willing to help out, willing to contribute to the pod, willing to help out, spread the awareness and any kind of funding. That's where Johnny was, and I was like, I want everybody to be part of it, to be recognized. So.
Yeah.
Eventually, me and my brother, we were in the talks of starting a little YouTube channel. And It still may happen. I don't know. And me and him are really, really hilarious to the point where we try to do a workaholic episode and I couldn't put it on streaming because it was just so insensitive. And I feel like, all right, this is the episode that people are going to be like, ew, no, like they're too vulgar. Like,
well, but see, there's I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because it's like if the group chat ever gets leaked, like those memes.
Mm-hmm. We're all going to jail.
Yeah, like if we send out some of this stuff that we share on Instagram or we share on a group text, like, oh yeah, bro, these guys. But at the same time, it's like I think there's more people out there that would resonate with it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
they're also they wouldn't tell anyone about it.
No, they
wouldn't share it and they wouldn't like it.
I have one group chat. It's not even a group chat. I have a conversation with just one other friend from work. Man, you can really hear my allergies on this mic. One friend from work. And this is going to sound so horrible. So I'm just going to leak a little bit of our conversations. But it's nothing but Down syndrome people on our group chat. It is just like all these memes. You'd be surprised of how many fucking memes there are of people with Down syndrome.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. Are you on that chat? Where are you at?
Not on that one, but I've seen quite a few of them.
And then it is just so fucking funny, the comments. Instagram is a savage.
The internet in general, but Instagram, because I know what you're talking about. I know what reels you're talking about.
The I can fix her reels?
Yes. And it'll pop up, and then you scroll, and it just starts scrolling through the comments, and it's like, oh, man. And it's one of those things, man. Like, the thing is, people will share them, but they won't like them.
Nope. I do not want to start seeing that algorithm pop up on my reels. And what's funny is that my brother is actually on a group chat with the rest of the workaholic crew, and so far it's been very, very normal. So I think we're doing a good job there. I think we know our times and our settings. But there was one time Johnny and Aramis couldn't make it to the episode. And so I was like, well, shit, I have my brother. My brother's pretty fucking funny, and everybody seems to like him. So I was like, all right, let's get him on. And right off the bat, I was like, all right, I swear, I'm not even exaggerating. We stopped at 10 minutes. I was like, there's no way I'm putting this on fucking line.
Bro, I had one podcast, and I told the guy, and I won't name names, but we probably went for like an hour and 30 minutes, and I had to edit out probably 30 minutes of the conversation. And it was a lot of editing.
Send that to me.
Those videos have been deleted.
God damn it.
Because it was just, I was like, no. And I even said it during the recording. I was like, I'm going to have to delete this. I'm going to have to delete this.
You're creating your own markers. That way you can just make it easier.
So when I roll editing. Back through, it's like, yep. And dude, until you start editing, those markers really help. When you start editing, you're like, okay, that's that part I need to cut out. Or I'll do like a subtle motion like this.
What's funny is like, I don't know how much of it back then you were able to pick up on it, but now that Johnny's on the actual podcast, he either ignores it or just leaves it in to be funny. But anytime that we had something to edit out on the Workaholic podcast, I say, Johnny, edit this out.
Yeah.
And so, but y'all would never get to hear it until Johnny actually got on the podcast, and Johnny would just leave it in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it would be funny whenever you hear me say, or when you hear him say, Johnny, just edit this out. Johnny, edit right here. Johnny this, Johnny that. So, yeah, those markers came in clutch whenever I was the one editing, but Johnny took over the editing and been doing an amazing job with it. Yeah. He surpassed me easily because he
does just leave it in there.
Yeah, he leaves it in there, but it becomes somewhat in the Workaholic crew a little bit of it's kind of like an inside joke now.
Yeah.
Because back then I don't know if you ever watched like it was this one YouTuber who does like all these tech reviews, and he has this cameraman behind him, and he calls him Jack. No one knew what Jack looked like, but everybody knew about Jack.
Yeah.
And Johnny was our Jack. But then he started coming around the podcast. I was like, all right, now we need to come up with an imaginary friend behind the camera to make things interesting.
I've always said I wanted a young Jamie, like with and then have like a split screen where they can someone can Google stuff and fact check us while we're talking about things.
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up, Reese.
Yeah, dude, I would love to have that. To literally have someone in like the corner, they're listening.
Just
in on
edit
the
Joe every time that you do this. Just now, Joe Rogan, edit him like searching something up.
Yeah,
and be like, was that Joe Rogan? What the fuck?
Joe Rogan's in the back. What?
Yeah, like, kind of could. He's in Austin, so it's not really out of the possibility. You know what I'm
saying? So then me and my cousin were talking about the AI videos now. How they got the AI videos saying all this crazy stuff. They had Luca on one the other day talking about Kyrie, talking about if I'm the white Batman and he's my Black Robin, and then he goes, if Anthony Edwards is Michael Jordan's son, then I'm part Larry Bird, and MJ never beat Larry Legend, so I'm not losing to this. And it was just like, it was so out there. I said it to my cousin, and his first response was, what if they do that to us? I go, bro, what the fuck are they going to make us say that
we haven't already said?
And who's going out of their way to get us canceled? Like, and honestly, I don't think people are getting canceled anymore. You don't hear about it as often.
I think because everybody's now PC. I don't think it's because there's not a cancel culture going on. I think we got used to being politically correct to the point where it's like we're not even noticing it anymore. Like, gay jokes are no longer a thing. Like, are no longer a shock factor.
Yeah, that's true.
Either you're all the way pro or you're all the way anti. There's like that little gray area in between.
Because when we were kids, bro, you would just call everybody gay.
Yeah, I was calling gay people gay, but not because they were gay, but because they said something that was.
It's like when South
gay.
when South Park described it.
Yeah.
Like, no, not that he's homosexual. It's because he has his blinker on for like 6 blocks and he hasn't turned yet. He's gay.
What a fucking fact.
And I touched on it when John Cena used to come out and he would freestyle. He would
Thank God that didn't last.
Bro, that lasted for a long time.
No.
But he would make these references to the announcer Michael Cole, and Michael Cole's gay. And it was just like, but now, well, it's real PG, and going to Netflix, WWE is going to change a little bit, and they're going to get a little more raunchy. I'm sure of it. But I don't know.
We'll see.
Well, I think they're going to drop more F-bombs, and they'll be able to say bitch and ass, and I said F-bombs. We could say fuck on this, but
you can fuck.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the direction it has to go, because if they want to reinvade pop culture, then you have to get a little more heavy on the foul language.
Yeah, if you want to cancel somebody, you got to hit them where it hurts, and that's their pocket. Yeah. And like a lot of the times, whenever people get boycotted, they're not changing their ways because someone got their feelings hurt. They're changing their ways because money is now getting affected.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, all right, they're gonna cancel us. They're not gonna start paying attention until their money's getting questioned or their pockets are getting hurt.
Well, no one's making any money off of me, and I'm not making any money off of this.
And that's why you haven't been canceled. But
this is
just wait till you start putting working on a Patreon and or OnlyFans. I mean, I don't judge. But once they're like, hold on, man, let me just unsubscribe. He said something really wrong.
Bro, I really wanted to start a feet OnlyFans at one point, but
I do too.
I think it'd be cool.
It wouldn't be my feet. You know what I mean?
It would be my feet.
No.
With like diesel oil and chocolate syrup.
I would be catfishing on OnlyFans. Straight up. Like, you wouldn't even know whose feet they were. You just know there would be some very feminine female feet. You wouldn't even know who they are unless you're a real freak like that. Like, I know those feet anywhere. Like, what the fuck?
I don't think you could do that. I don't think you can post other people's feet.
Why not?
Because there's like checks. I don't understand how that works either. Like, how would they?
Yeah.
I don't know. We may have to look into this. We'll discuss this off camera.
There's a lot of money to be made off feet. Bro, people are weird. Like, if I can make money off feet, bro, like... And what's so funny, bro, is like, I think I had this conversation on a Workaholic episode. It's... OnlyFans really became the place for sexualizing things.
Everything.
Because it's... Patreon doesn't have that same recognition, but Patreon and OnlyFans were literally the identical.
Yeah.
If anything, I think OnlyFans was a ripoff of Patreon. But as soon as COVID hit and the strippers couldn't fucking go make their money stripping, they started creating OnlyFans, and that now it became what's it called. What's the terminology I wanted to use? Almost identical. It's now. Anytime you think of OnlyFans, if I told you I had an OnlyFans, what do you think?
You're doing nasty shit.
Exactly. But if I told you I had a Patreon, you'd be like, "Oh, he's not doing anything crazy on there."
He's legit.
No, I'm fucking feet pickers on Patreon as well, man. I haven't created one yet, but
I'm just saying. Like,
I'm just saying, if I can make money off feet,
there's money to be made, bro.
Oh yeah, there's no excuse, none. What was crazy is, like, if I told you, because DJ Envy has a OnlyFans, but what's the first thing you think of? Some nasty shit.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not.
There's a lot, like Kevin Holland, the UFC fighter. He has an OnlyFans.
Yeah, but then you're thinking, oh shit, he's got dick pics on there. No, no, it's not just that. Like, these women really fucked up OnlyFans.
They're really using it as another form of social media, and just like Instagram now, you can subscribe and pay for content or different stuff that everyone else doesn't get to see.
When I thought it was hilarious when Cardi B announced that she had OnlyFans, and everybody just ran over there, and everybody found out it was just like for like a class, and for like, I think she's doing some realtor shit where she's flipping properties.
Yeah,
that was so hilarious. Everybody put in money quick as fuck to go purchase Cardi B's OnlyFans, and they were like, "Man, now I got all this knowledge on how to flip a house. Like, well, fucking go use that shit. What were you gonna do with your $10.99 a month? What the fuck is wrong with people?" And it also shows the disgusting side of people, because whenever that Catch Me Outside girl turned 18, the second she turned 18, she created an OnlyFans. And I'm like, bro, y'all are fucking sick. Y'all could, like,
they were waiting for her to turn 18.
Oh yeah, I was like, man, there's a lot of Drake people out there. The same way that we did No Diddy is the same way that we're gonna start calling people Drakes. Like, oh yeah, he was a Drake, because a lot of those pictures, like, from what I heard, because I didn't search it up. I swear to God, I didn't. From what I heard, there was already like a small library of her pictures. I'm like, so wouldn't that mean that a lot of her pictures were from before when she turned 18?
Yeah.
Isn't that a crime?
So there's just like that player from the Oklahoma City Thunder. They said he was talking to a high school girl when he was like 18 or 19. The laws are different in different states. And apparently he didn't get in trouble. No harm, no foul. Like, he didn't do anything wrong.
If he's 18 or 19, I think that should be okay, right?
But how old was she at the time?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I keep on... Because I'm thinking of graduation age. I'm like, all right, when you're like in 12th grade, you're probably 18 or 19 or 17. But yeah, you're right. Why did I just assume that she was in 12th grade? She could have been.
Yeah, she could have been a sophomore or freshman, and then it's like, that's not okay.
And then, bro, oh my God, that's a whole different topic. I used to look at niggas weird as fuck whenever we were in 12th grade, and they like, oh, fresh meat. They started checking out the freshmen. I'm like, y'all are sick, bro.
But as you get older, it's okay for a 30-year-old man to date a 25-year-old girl. It's okay.
Yeah, but I guess at that age, when you're becoming a freshman, you're still
14.
Yeah, you still gotta grow.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like
at 25, at least you're grown.
Yeah,
the brain stops developing at the age of 21.
Yeah,
which I think 21 is plenty young. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna judge anybody, but I know this. Going on 40-year-old man dating an 18-year-old, I'm like, I'm looking at you weird, especially because I got kids. I'm like, bro, like,
yeah, I think that's when, like, I only have sons. I don't have any daughters, but I have a niece, and it's like
it changes the way you look at things.
It's kind of weird,
because I really didn't care about the whole SPM thing until I started having a kid, and I go back and revisit a lot of things. I'm like, oh, bro, like,
yeah,
I'm like, didn't he have kids at that time? Like, do you not put yourself in those predicaments? It's like having kids really do change the way that you see life. Because when I was growing up, I didn't care about the whole R. Kelly thing. But then I was like, all right, going back and listening to music, I was like, I can't believe this motherfucker did that shit. I'm like, these people are godless.
Yeah.
And that came from an atheist at that time. So, like, so that was really harsh for me to say that to somebody. But I mean, at that time, I was almost positive I was an atheist
Yeah.
until I met Sam. Well, not until I met Sam. Sam really motivated me to pick it up again and go try again. So a lot of me doing some spiritual searching and doing and going looking for God. A lot of it was inspired by Sam. So sometimes we don't tell the people that inspire us and gives us that kind of hope. We don't let them know enough.
Yeah.
So I probably should have let him know instead of him hopefully finding this out on the podcast.
Oh man, I've got some demons, so I'm not there yet.
We all got demons.
Yeah, but I like to hang out with mine. So
Yeah, me too. Unfortunately, what's that quote? I try to drown my demons, but they learned how to swim.
yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, mine's are swimming right now. We're all swimming together. But I think the interesting fact is, damn it, I don't want to say too much, man. I feel like I'm revealing a little bit too much, but that third podcast was a little bit about mental health, and I'm not there, but I think everybody's missing the important part was the being able to relate to people, and I think me going on this journey of looking for belonging and looking for a spiritual life. I think that journey is more important than the goal. Because once you reach the goal, it's like, what can you talk about?
yeah.
Like, we go through Instagrams, and I'm currently in the middle of working out. I'm trying to get into a better dad bod.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
I'm trying to get into a better dad bod. I'm not trying to lose a dad bod.
Yeah,
But I am trying to get healthier.
yeah. There's a point in our lives. So it always comes back to DWI for me. So I don't want to harp on it, but afterwards, cutting out alcohol, I really embraced them chicken wings. And I was going out to eat all the time because I wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
So to fill my time, I was just eating. And then I got to a point when I was arrested, I was 306 or 304. And then I got down to 263. So I was like, all right, cool.
Sweet.
But the problem is when I weighed in this morning, I was 288. So drop all the weight and then just slowly, gradually putting it back on. So I'm done with sodas. I'm done with Monsters right now. And I'm just going to get back after it because that's all you can do.
I was really addicted to energy drinks. Really, really addicted. To the point where I was having like two or three a day. Yeah.
That's not addicted. I was having 7.
Fuck that. No, dude,
Dude,
you had a problem.
I was killing them.
Submit him into rehab right now, please. Someone
Seven.
pay attention to him. Fuck that, dude. God damn.
And then I was like, I wonder why I can't sleep at night.
It's like I should probably go do something.
Wait, dude, I would
Have you just tried cocaine? Just do that, please. That's probably a healthier alternative
it's too
to
expensive.
7 Monsters.
7 Monsters, bro. And then like I'd be at the gym at like 1 a.m. and people are like, "You're not gonna wake up in time for work." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Kill a monster, go to sleep, wake up, kill another monster, be at work."
Dear Lord, I thought that was bad because I was like, man, 3 is bad because they just taste good. Anyways,
They just taste good.
They just taste good. And they had no effect after a while. I was like, I think I just.
I don't think they had an effect on me like energy wise, motivation to do something, move around, but they did fuck up my sleep patterns really.
Oh no,
bad.
for sure, yeah, because they're not giving you energy. They're just blocking out the one chemical that helps you go to sleep. Once you realize how energy drinks work, it's really not. It's not. Everybody thinks that when they drink an energy drink, it gives them energy. All it does is it blocks a chemical going to your brain that is associated with fatigue and sleep patterns. So it's just really just blocking that out.
If you want energy, you have to take pre-workout all the time.
Or snort a whole bunch of cocaine. You know what I mean?
Or snort cocaine and pre-workout at the same time.
Whoa.
Dude, I think the worst...
Kids, try that one.
No.
Let me know how that goes.
I think the worst thing I ever did was I snorted the sour Skittle sugar, like the dust. Yeah, I immediately vomited.
There's a
It was bad.
YouTube video of me in my pre-adolescence. I was probably like 13. Of me snorting like Lucas lemon salt.
Oh.
And I don't know why it's still online.
You know what?
If I could delete the video, I would do it in a heartbeat.
I'm pretty sure that's why your allergies are kicking in the way that they are.
Oh, probably, yeah. No, for sure. It's like
permanent
fucking
damage for sure.
Yeah, there's fucking. I smell lime every time. There's always. I mean, all I gotta do is, and then my beard just tastes so much better. Well, where was I going? Oh yeah, I was.
Where was I going?
This is workaholic vibes. I just go off fucking topic.
Yeah.
I think I was talking about getting into better shape and wanting to work on myself. When you're on Instagram, especially on mine, you see a whole bunch of, you see the progress already. You see the end result. Like, oh, this dude's already muscular. He looks good, but you didn't get to see the struggle. And I felt like Sam does a great job of explaining that part. Is explain the struggle, explain the hardships, and I think the people can relate more to the struggle than they can the end result, because at the end everybody has a different end result. Everybody's not trying to get to the same part. Like, I may not want to be hugely jacked, but I do want to be a little bit on the rip side.
Yeah.
But whether you want to be huge and swole, we're still gonna face the same things. We just not gonna end up on the same result. And I was like, what if I just created a podcast where I'm on a very serious note when it comes to mental health and about just overall being a better person? Because I'm nowhere near in my eyes, a good person. Like, I'm still working on keeping my family together. Like, I know I'm not the easiest person to deal with. I could be a better father. I could be a better son, a better brother, a better husband, I could be a better everything.
Yeah, you could just be better in general.
Yeah, but
I think we all can.
But we don't ever talk about what we're struggling to get to that point. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
I think when I see a lot of motivational speakers, and this is how highly I think of Sam, so it's not really a diss to him, but to me, when you look at Sam, you look like he got his shit together.
Yeah.
And I think it's something good to look forward to, but it's like, what areas did you fail in that I could relate to? Like, my whole thing, and I've told this to everybody, so it's one of my favorite sayings of all times. It's like, a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistake of others. What can I tell y'all that I fucked up on so y'all wouldn't?
Yeah.
Like, I'm currently still a fuck up, so don't do this.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. I see memes online where it's like someone with a really shocked, scared face, and like me listening to the homeless man telling me about his life story, and it sounds like my life right now. Yeah. Like, yeah, you're on that fucking path, motherfucker. Like, change some shit.
I've always wondered, like, I think those would be really cool interviews to interview homeless people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because, like, hey, bro, like, I'll buy you lunch and I'll buy you a 6-pack, and you just tell me how you got here. Like, what was it? What was the point?
Because I was offering people lunches and 6-packs. I was like, no.
Because, dude, I always come back to it. Like, if the dude has the sign and the sign says, "Why lie? I just need a beer," I'm gonna give that dude $2 or $3.
He hasn't been homeless long.
If
the sign is funny, he hasn't been homeless long.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just trying to catch the buzz again, guys.
But
dude, I think that's cool. I think that's because honestly, dude, the struggle, like, it's like you said, the before and after pictures, like, for any diet product, any workout product,
even haircuts.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, you see where it's like some regular white dude, and it's the before, and they start playing the song, and it shows the after, and it's like a whole muscular black dude. It's like, oh, I want that haircut.
Yeah, bro, that's not a real thing. That's not a real thing that happens.
Make me look like this.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen, bro.
You don't know that. I'm still looking for that barber. But I don't know how fast that one's gonna happen. That one may not even happen this year. It is currently being worked on, just because it is gonna be me, mostly me. I really am not gonna have a host. I'm gonna have guests. Yeah. Where I think I could relate to, or I see the same struggle in, or if anybody just wants to jump on and have a conversation about mental health. I'm not there, but I think the fact that I'm not there is what's going to help, because I want to be there.
Yeah, you're genuinely trying to learn, and you're trying to, Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
and the Workaholics, I think, is going to happen this year. I just don't know when. It might be during or after the summer. I have a vacation coming up, so I plan on picking sand out of my toes in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yep, but I already have the setup. We have one side of the office, which you've seen, is literally just the Workaholic area. I mean, the rap area. And then I just did the whole area on the other side where my desk is at for the Workaholic pod. That way it can look different.
Yeah.
But I'm not creating multiple rooms.
Yeah.
For that.
You just turn in the camera.
Yeah, I'm literally just turning the camera.
But I mean, dude, for people who are starting out doing this, for people who have done this, for people who have trying to do this in the future, or you're currently doing it, like there is no perfect setup. Unless you got like, I ain't gonna lie, unless you got like $2 or $3 grand laying around.
Fuck the setup. Like, if you just want to do it, just do it.
Yeah.
When I started, I was literally, oh my God. When I started, I was doing them in a car with an iPhone. Yeah. No cameras, no mics. If you really want to do something, you will avoid any excuse if you really want to do it.
Yeah.
Just start off with your phone. And just remember, content is the most important part.
Consistency.
Once you, because fucking Uncensored Minds was one episode a month.
Yeah,
that was harsh. I was like, no wonder it died off. And I didn't intend it to be that way. It's just at that time I didn't have anybody. I didn't have a team.
Yeah,
and if you want to do it with somebody, just keep in mind that's going to be even harder. But there are times you could do vlogs.
Because the same thing, y'all run the y'all are the Three Musketeers.
Yeah,
I've taken the Three Amigos for me and my crew because.
Oh fuck! Why did I think of that? God damn it!
Well, y'all's is because Aramis, one of the Musketeers.
No, that was just a coincidence. That was a fucking coincidence. Because he was like, "Bro, I see what you did there." I'm like, I don't even know any Musketeer names. And the fact that one of them was Aramis was just by pure fucking coincidence.
Well, but it worked out better for y'all.
Yeah, but man, being the Three Amigos, the rap podcast Migos, oh, bro, that shit.
Yeah, that's all. Like when we were jokingly saying it on our group chat, and I was like, "I'm Steve Martin," and then Chase was like, "Fuck, that means he has to be Chevy Chase," and then he was like, "I should have called it before you did." But it was just a goofy thing. So when
it's something that escaped the group chat.
Yeah, we pop up the little Three Amigos occasionally, the little GIF. The GIF. People don't like it when you say GIF. It's not peanut butter. Is it a GIF or a GIF?
I hate that it is a GIF. Because the G stands for graphic.
Yeah, so it's not a GIF.
But I still call it a GIF. I'm wrong, but let me be wrong. Because it is GIF. Fuck. Graphic imagery. Oh, I forgot what the S stands for, but it stands for graphic, and it's GIF. Fucking shit.
It's like caramel and caramel.
How do you say? Do you say pecan or pecan?
I say pecan.
Oh.
I don't say pecan. There's cans outside with peas in them. That's what those are.
That's not what we're talking about. Pecan or pecan. My wife kills me whenever I say I say pecan, but I think it's because it's pecan, Puerto Rican. It's just
you were about to start rapping.
Yeah, I was about to start rapping. Yeah, no, those days are
is
over.
that ever going to happen again?
No, never. Never.
Never going to put the pen to the pad.
Never.
You gonna ghostwrite for somebody?
I might. Yeah, I might ghostwrite for somebody. I was really good at rapping, dude. I take it as a compliment, but in high school I was like, dude, you sound black. I'm like. I was like, okay. Then I found out that was a good thing. I was like, yeah, you don't want to sound white. If anybody tells you, dude, you sound white, it's like, all right, I know that's an insult. But I remember when I was rapping, I was really good at it, dude. But I think a lot of it was because I had some background in poetry. I started I would write down poetry. And I found out that's what Kendrick used to do. So, like, I'm not comparing myself to Kendrick, but, you know what I mean? No, you know what I'm saying? But, no, a lot of it, like, this is how good at poetry I was. I'm about to embarrass myself, but also, like, fucking pat myself on the back. In middle school, I used to get bullied because I was just a fucking nerd. But I remember the dude that was picking on me snatched my binder, and I would have all my poems in like these little sleeves. And I swear, one time he just took them, and I was a little nerd back then, so I was gonna give my shit back. I was like, he's not gonna keep it. And I look at the back of the classroom, and he's reading all of them, like genuinely reading them. And one, I was shocked because I didn't know he could read. And I was like, yeah, I mean,
I didn't see that one coming, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I did not see it.
I'm here all week, people.
That was a solid setup. Oh god.
And two, I was like, this dude does not like me. Like, he'll find any reason. At that time, I was a scrawny little kid, bro. And before I was able to learn to stand up for myself, before I became a little troublemaker, I couldn't stand up for myself. So there was no reason for this dude to even look at my shit. And then he handed me my binder back, didn't give me no shit. And he was like, oh, man, that's pretty cool. But like the shit that I would talk about was like a dark area of my life. And I was like, I remember that. I remember I would write them like they were songs because I didn't know the real like core of poetry. I just knew just make it rhyme. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And then I fake graduated from middle school, and then in high school I got transferred to high school where it was like second, like it was people with problems. But I got real cool with this one dude, and he was making music, and he was going through my poems too, and he was like, oh man, I like this song. And I was like, it's not a song, but it gave me that idea, and I was like, hey, as a matter of fact, let me join you in the studio. And sure enough, it was a really cool little song that we did. I was really trying to make my music relate to the people that I was around because they were making music of that sort. But whenever I was by myself is when I found out, like, I was really ahead of my game because, like, it was a different sound. But now that sound sounds like what today sounds like.
Yeah.
But everybody was saying, like, well, you have a different sound. Like, I like that sound. But it was just a whole bunch. It was melody plus rhythm plus speed. So, like, that wasn't really heard of a lot back in that day. Like, now, I wish I could pull the song up. But someone hacked Johnny's shit because Johnny's shit is so fucking hackable. Probably like the 5th time this shit got hacked. Johnny, man, work on your fucking passwords. Someone almost hacked the Rhythm and Poetry podcast account.
For real?
Hell yeah. Johnny hit me up earlier this week. He's like, oh yeah, so we almost got hacked. I'm like, again? Like, Johnny, stop making...
Who are Johnny's enemies? Because he's for Johnny G. This is the 4th account.
I made that joke. I don't think it really is.
No, it is. I asked him. I was like, bro, what happened? He goes, I kept...
Because he had 3 Johnny G.
Yeah.
And then that one got hacked. And then his YouTube got hacked. And... He actually did the music video for one of my songs, and he posted on his YouTube channel, and then that got hacked and got deleted, and I'm like, so there's no trace of that song ever. But it was a bunch of wordplay. It was a little freestyle.
You don't have a hard copy anywhere?
No.
Dang.
That's all memorized up here though. In the hat, there's a little USB drive.
I keep it close to the heart. Keep it close to the dome. Yeah. Don't want nobody to find it.
I'm hearing satellites. This shit hurts. But I was like, you know what? I might re-record it, but at the same time, to me, it's kind of dated. It's a little goofy. Because I think, I don't know how old I was. My daughter was probably like 2 or 3, so that means I was maybe 21 or 2. But it was like stupid, goofy shit. Like, what was the first line? Motherfucker, I'm too damn dope. 4 bars of me and you might overdose. Some stupid fucking shit like that. But it was a freestyle, so I didn't really give myself so much shit. But at the same time, it was cool to listen to because I was like, shit, all of that came fresh off the dome. Yeah. Granted, wherever I recorded it, there's probably a 10-minute version that sucks ass because he had to like chop out a whole bunch of fucks. I fucked up. Keep it going. Yada yada yada. But I've been thinking about recording some songs, but not ever putting them out. I still have a whole bunch of songs that I want to record. I have one called Workaholic, and I was thinking about how cool would that be to make it part of the Workaholic intro.
I mean, that would be cool.
But at the same time, I was like, I don't want to be known as a rapper. Not because it's a bad stigma, but I'm going all in on this podcasting shit.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. I mean, there's not I was never musically talented. There was a binder at one point where I thought, oh man, I could rap. No, I couldn't.
Find that binder.
No, it's burned. It's
Find
gone.
that.
There's probably like 3 people in the world.
Who's the guy behind the Joe Budden or Joe Rogan?
Young Jamie.
Jamie, there you go. Jamie, go look for it.
Jamie, find the binder.
Jamie, go find the binder.
It's on the dark web somewhere. Like
MySpace.
Oh man, MySpace days were something else.
I miss that shit, man. Bro, god damn, I miss that shit. What are you talking with Johnny or with Aramis?
I was talking with Johnny. Profile pic, and you had your song, your top 8.
I was such a fuck boy on there, bro.
Bro, I was too.
I was such a fuck boy. I remember I was fucking, what was I doing, bro? But obviously I wasn't the kid that I was once, but I mean, a dude blew up. You know what I mean? I was kind of handsome for a kid. You know what I mean? But bro, I thought I was a shit on MySpace.
Oh, I did too, bro.
I thought I was a fucking shit.
Dude, I had the grill in. I had 22s on the truck. The picture with a bunch of $20 bills. Thought I was it, bro. The tall tee.
That's right, y'all did talk about it. I'm starting to remember now.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that was Aramis's episode.
My MySpace handle was all about my cash for life with the / at myspace.com. And yeah, that was a different time.
We were really proud of the MySpace era, but nobody talks about Moco Space.
I never had one, but I remember people that had one.
I had one too, and I was not proud of that.
Yeah,
I almost got that place was so dirty. That place was dirty. Like, that was back page for everybody.
Yeah,
I was not proud of it. I remember I didn't have internet access, so I'd go over to my homeboy and we would share. Like, I would get on his phone and I'd just log into MySpace to my Moco Space, and I was like, "All right, what nasty bitch do I want to talk to today?" What I don't know what was wrong with people back then, bro. We grew up in a nasty era.
Yeah, good times, bro. Good times. It made us the men that we are today. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it was a part of our lives, definitely.
Unfortunately, I mean, yeah, you're right. We had to learn from our failures.
Yeah,
Moco Space was definitely a failure. I wonder if it's still a thing.
I doubt it.
I'm not gonna search it up.
MySpace isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
it's not a social network anymore.
Yeah, none of those accounts are still up either.
No, thank God. Oh my God.
I wish I could go see my. What if I have unread messages? You never know.
Nah, I don't. No, I don't want to talk to nobody from my MySpace days. Nobody. Y'all are some sick fucks. I remember I was on Facebook early before anybody. I was like, bro, everybody was on MySpace. I'm like, bro, try Facebook. There was nobody on there.
Yeah,
like, everybody was like,
I never had a Facebook. I still don't have a Facebook.
Good, me neither. I used to have one though.
Yeah, all I got's the Instagram and the TikTok. Well, the TikTok's only for the podcast.
All I have is on Instagram, and I'm so glad Instagram is even measuring our capacity for like how long we've been on there. I have my settings for like 10, so if I'm over there on 10 minutes, it'll give me a little notification saying, "Hey,
get the fuck off."
Yeah, get off. Like,
no, not me. I don't have that.
Oh man, because I've deleted Snapchat. I've deleted a lot of things just because I feel like I have a really addictive personality.
I do too.
Really, really addictive, and like.
But I don't have anything to do with my time right now. Like when I don't have my kids, I'll try to get 2 podcasts recorded, and then try to get content for some other stuff I'm working on, and
for the OnlyFans.
For the OnlyFans.
For the OnlyFans.
Y'all can see these feet right here.
Hey, hold on, man.
You can't see them. The Crocs blocking them.
I say, man, don't give it out for the free. Make them pay. You know what I mean?
With the Bigfoot Walmart socks on.
Is that the smiley face? I haven't seen that logo in a long time. Shit.
Oh man, throw it back to Kmart. Joe Boxer.
Dude. Is it Kmart? Does Kmart exist?
Yeah, just not here in Texas. I think there's a couple here in Texas.
I used to love Kmart. That was my shit.
Blue Light Specials. I remember I bought a CD there one time because they had the parental advisory, like the explicit version, and the CD wasn't in there because someone had stole it already.
Oh man,
yeah, good times, man. Good times. The Kmart. I used to walk to Kmart right here on Hewlin before they shut it down.
That was a Kmart on Hewlin?
Right next to where the Walmart's at still.
No shit.
It's like a washateria and an insurance place and like a Sally's Beauty Supply where it used to be at.
R.I.P. Kmart. You said
They're just not here.
Damn.
But
Fucking Texans always messing shit up. God damn it.
we got Target still.
I hate Target.
Why?
Because there's so much shit that I can't afford.
I honestly will say, if I'm in a pinch and I need something, I'll run into a Target.
And then you'll come out with way more than you need.
No, I'll go in and get the one thing and pay 3 times as much as I would have paid at Walmart.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No, every time I go to Target, it's like, all right, y'all got me.
I needed a SD card one time I ran in there. It was like $17.99. And then I ran into Walmart and their ONN brand was
I remember. Yeah, I remember Johnny said
$7.
Johnny needed something. I forgot what he needed. I think it was like a dual adapter or some bullshit like that. I was like, okay, well, I'm at Target right now, so let me go look for one. Sure enough, I found the one that he needed, and I swear to God, it was like $80. I said, fuck that. I was like, Johnny, is it really 80? He said, hell no. I found it on Amazon while at Target. I'm like, bro, it's like $20 over here.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And it's
But because it's
the
Target, I
same.
want to buy it. Like, I have no control over myself. None.
You make bad financial decisions too, like me. I'm about to buy a Magneto mask
I buy
off
shoes.
of Amazon. I don't buy shoes anymore. I got a pair of Jordan 12s that Michael Finley used to wear, the white and blues.
Really?
And I kept them in the box, and I wore them like probably 6 times. And I just put them in the shelf in the closet, and then one day I pulled them out to look at them. The soles are coming off, and I'm just like, why didn't I just wear them?
Yep. If you wore them, they would have lasted.
Yeah, and that's why if you're a sneakerhead, wear your shoes.
Yeah. If you're a sneakerhead, I automatically think that you are bad with money. Automatically, just because a smart man learns from his mistakes and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Yeah, I have money issues,
Yeah,
and a lot of that is because of shoes.
because of shoes. Well, at least you know what the item is.
Does that matter? Does it matter? I'm not stopping. Let's be real.
Do you win the raffles or do you buy them after?
No, I try to go for raffles.
Okay.
If it's a must-have shoe, I don't consider every shoe a must-have.
No, I don't think every shoe's a must-have, but it's personal preference.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
And I think there are some rare ones that I do like that other people don't like. And it's like, yeah, I really like those. But at the same time, it's just one of those things like, do I want to drop $200 on it right now?
I remember I don't really follow wrestling. So who's the handsome dude with the big ass man bun?
Roman Reigns.
There you go, Roman. I remember he was on the episode of like
yeah,
forgot
bro.
what it was.
You're going to bring this up. When he lost his street cred?
Yeah, it was when he lost his street cred. He was like, well, which one are your favorite pair? And he brought up the 6 rings.
He brought up the 6 rings, and he said there's another version of this.
And it was like the ugliest 6 ring I have ever seen in my life. But
Yeah.
here's the funny thing, like, I don't think he should have lost his street cred. I think it was funny to laugh at. Because if you're a sneakerhead, you're gonna like sneakers. You don't have to like the same sneakers every other sneakerhead likes at all.
Unless they're pandas.
Even then,
I'm just
like,
kidding.
goddamn.
There's a lot of panda hate going on, I'm not going to lie.
There is, dude. And I was because even my daughter hates pandas. I'm like, why? My
It's
daughter's
the internet.
Yeah, my daughter's a little sneakerhead too. And I was like, it's just a black and white shoe that goes with everything. But what's fucking funny is Jordan released the 85 high in the same fucking colorway, and those flew off the fucking shelf. So you can't tell me it's the color that made it look bad. It's the fact that everybody has them.
It was the availability.
Yeah,
It was.
So that's why I don't understand. If you're a true sneaker, I do consider myself a true sneakerhead. I don't just have like all the crazy hyped up the sneaker shoes. I actually have a whole bunch of probably like ones I'm wearing now. Like they're nothing crazy. It's just I like the way it looked. I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
It's not the fact that there's some story behind it. That's all hype shit. Like I'm okay with. I have a lot of very very cheap shoes that I like because I like the way they look.
Yeah.
And the way that I compare them with certain outfits. Not everything needs to be an OG, a Jordan, a Yeezy, a designer shoe there's a lot of good looking shoes out there. That's why I'm glad that New Balance got eyes on the culture right now, or the culture has their eyes on New Balances and Asics. Like they finally started accepting sneakers. If you do not take any advice from a sneakerhead at all, if you were to say which one of the most comfortable shoes, they'll probably say like a Jordan 1 or 4, which is like an ungodly lie.
Yeah.
Most painful shoe I've ever worn, but we wear it because they look cool. Like
Yeah.
we tolerate the pain.
Do they not, they don't have a 13? You got it in a 12? I can fit in a 12.
12,
And
yeah.
buy a shoe that's one size too small just because you have to have the shoe.
Oh, yeah.
I've done that before.
Yeah, for sure. And I was like,
But like the 6 rings,
the 6 rings, I think, you know what's crazy is like sneakerheads should like that one. It's an homage to a whole bunch of shoes put together.
and then the Spizikes the same way.
But what's crazy is that Spizikes doesn't get hates like the 6 rings.
I know.
And it's the
It's
exact
true.
same fucking concept. Literally
Yeah.
the same fucking concept.
Yeah, but it's one of the when they dropped when the 6 rings first came out, I did like them.
I hate that someone dubbed them the Mexican Jordan. I think you sent me that shit.
I did send you that.
I was like,
but
the Mexican Jordan.
but
That shit
honestly-
blew my fucking mind.
But do you remember like Team Jordans? Like when the Team Jordans first came out, there was some of them that were hard. That was like, all right, I like these. But then it got to the point where there's like, okay, y'all are just taking all these random shoes that y'all had designed already. And
They had spare parts laying around. Yeah, like,
and
let's just put it together.
Let's just throw it together, and we'll make a shoe for like $100. And I mean, still got the Jordan logo on it. And so, dude, some of those Team Jordans, I liked them. They're comfortable. I liked them way more than the numbered shoe that dropped that year. But at the same time, it's just one of those things, man. But I've gotten out of that.
One of my favorite pair of shoes right now in my collection is a $40 shoe. Literally, it's a pair of Pumas. I've beaten them to the fucking ground. They were so comfortable. They were off-white, so they went with literally everything in my closet. And when I wear, like, because I guess people know me as a sneakerhead. So, but when they see me wear something that's not hype, they'll be like, "What is that?" Because they think it's something exclusive.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know if it adds value to them in their eyes because of some sneakerheads wearing them, but I'm like, dude, I found them on clearance for $40 at fucking Foot Locker. They're
Yeah.
Pumas, like and they're such a dad shoe and they're so comfortable.
Bro, I want some Monarchs, bro.
Yeah, Monarchs.
Like I bought a pair of Converse Fast Break 85s because they were $34.99, and they're like a mid. They're not high top, they're not low top, they're mid. And I was like, oh, I like these, and they're comfortable, and no one else is wearing them. I was grilling chicken, and I got grease on them. And and I looked
shit.
at them, and I was like, you know, if these shoes cost $100, I'd be pissed. And then because they were only $40 with shipping, I just put them back. I just keep wearing them, and it's like,
See, what's crazy to me is like even if I get a shoe on sale, there's still, and I hate this. I need to stop looking at things that way. Like right now, I have the last shoes I was wearing on the podcast. Because me and Amos were talking about it, were a pair of Bread Jordan 4s, and I got them for retail. But because I got them for retail, that doesn't matter to me. If I go on Go and I see that they're going for $500, that to me is a $500 shoe.
yeah.
I'm looking at it the wrong way, the whole wrong way, because now I'm treating them like they're $500 shoes, even though I know damn well I'll never sell them.
Yeah.
So I'm just my perspective on life is all fucked up, which is why I'm probably gonna succeed with this fuck up podcast that's gonna roll out probably next year. But we'll see. But we shall see.
It'll happen.
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to make time, but
Well, bro, I mean, one podcast is a lot. I know. And then,
it is.
and that's like when Sam was running with 3. And then,
I'm really competing with Sam because this shit. I'm like, how the fuck does Sam do this?
well, because, okay, one of my favorite things that Sam did was that coffee break series.
Yes,
Because they were quick
and
to the point,
and I could get them done.
You're getting something out of it. It's not just like easy listening. It's like there's a concept. I want to get a point across. Here it is in amount of time it'll take you to drink a cup of coffee. And I really like those. And then I really did like the what are the ones? Shut Your Mouth.
My favorite one was Shut Your Mouth. Me and my daughter would go listen to that one.
Those ones were really good because it was I mean, it felt like constructive criticism arguing.
It just felt like I was in the room with them.
Yeah,
And
100%.
And I mean, they have a great relationship. You know what I mean? And I would listen to them, and a lot of when I'm on good terms, a lot of it sounds like our relationship. And so I was like, okay, like this is something. It's the whole being able to relate to it and finding funny in it. And I remember one time I forgot it was probably one of the earlier episodes. But my daughter was in the car listening to it with me, and Sam quoted, I forgot what movie it was, but it was I got $1, and I was like, my daughter was dying. There you go, yeah. Rascals. My daughter was dying. She loved that because she watched the Rascals, and I was like, let me just call Sam, because I think if you tell me, yeah, I'm listening to it with my daughter and my daughter's enjoying it, that's gonna be a huge compliment. So I was like, I called Sam that day. I was like, Sam, what you doing, man? I was like, we're just listening to the episode, and I gotta let you know my daughter loves the episode. And yeah, sure enough, he was flattered. He was happy to hear it. So I was like, give recognition whenever you can.
I've literally I told someone this week. Sam is probably the best interviewer that I know personally, and I would argue to say probably the best in Fort Worth, if I'm being honest, because I mean, there's shit that you see on the news that's not even close to the level that Sam gets to in an interview. And when I
don't want to say this because it sounds harsh at the same time, but
when you get,
Sam makes me give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Sam makes me want to go listen to somebody. Like,
yeah,
I don't know who these people are that you're bringing onto the episode, but I want to know.
Yeah, and the way that he interviews, he gets the question, he asks the question, and he gets the response. And he keeps rolling, but he keeps you engaged. And it's like, before you know it, the guest is talking about stuff they weren't even comfortable talking about, and they didn't even know they were ready to talk about. And I'm like,
you know what's funny is everybody. I'm pretty sure everybody's done an interview with Sam now. You, me, Johnny, Aramis. But I remember going in there, already kind of having an idea of what I want to talk about.
Yeah. You didn't talk about it at all?
Nope. And then he would ask me questions about myself that I was like, fuck, I didn't ever thought about that. And now I was like so unsure of what the fuck I was going to do.
I had fun with it because my interview with him, I was a fill-in. He had a cancellation, and we had talked about getting together and doing something. And he was like, hey, what are you doing right now? And I was like, I got my kids this weekend. And then I was like, but let me see if I can get a babysitter and I'll pull up. And then he told me, he goes, we're just going to hit record and we'll kind of go with the flow. I'll ask you some questions if you want to ask me some stuff. And I thought it was really cool that he gave me that opportunity, because I got to asking questions, and I was like, have you ever talked about any of this on camera? He was like, no. And I was like, dang, and the real thing with Sam is he's ready to kind of let people take those steps. And I mean, honestly, dude, he'd message me, hey man, you're doing really good. Hey, I really like this. I really like this concept. And it's positive feedback. And
what was so funny is I remember, not to cut you off, but like you saying that reminds me of when he was on the Thanks for the Invite podcast and how he just took over the whole thing. Like, I could tell that he was willing to let them take some of the, not take some of the time, but I was very curious to see who would orchestrate that episode. And sure enough, I was like, yeah, Sam orchestrated down near the whole thing. Yeah. To a point where those guys were like, it sounded like they were nervous. It sounded like they were not prepared for how strong of a persona he was.
Like in normal conversation, and Sam is one of the strongest A mics I've ever met, and I didn't even know that was a thing until we discussed it. And was sitting down and talking with him, it was like, dude, his level of thinking is like on this next level, and it's just like he's got a plan. He's got things in action. He's got things in motion. He's planned out the next 5 years of podcasting, and I'm over here like, hey, how am I going to do next week's episode?
Yeah. I'm the exact same way.
But it's nice to have someone to look to bounce ideas off of, and to see that Sam's not just sitting back and kind of comfortable. He's still growing. He's still pushing, and it's like, damn, all right, got to step up my shit because I'm not where Sam's at, but Sam is very modest.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, Sam's got this shit figured out. And to the level of, like, I've never seen anyone able to hold a conversation the way that he can. And then when he's giving me his degree, like, okay, you're off 1 degree, you're off 2 degree, now bring it back. When he's giving me pointers like that, it's like, I love my randomness in the podcast, but when he's trying to communicate, he wants to get a point across, and he's like, all right, bring it back in.
I remember the first time I met Sam, it was at a museum, and I guess he just knew about the rap podcast. And so conversation came up, and I brought up the Workaholic episodes. He's like, I didn't know you had another podcast. And I was like, fuck. And he was like, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm like, fuck, no. Like,
don't do that. No.
And then he said that it was really funny. I didn't think it'd be his cup of tea, but he said it was hilarious. He said he was dying laughing. So he said he had a good time listening to it. And I was like, man, some of that shit that I say on there is like, it really is. I don't know if I told Sam about it, but it's me versus Aramis on there. Like, who can make the other person laugh the most, really?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it entertaining and funny, because we're not really focused on the audience. It's all right. I'm gonna try to see if I can get Aramis to laugh, or Aramis is gonna try to like be a goofball back and try. And that's what makes it entertaining, is like the constant feedback between one another instead of us just dishing out information. Because all we're talking about is on the Workaholic episode is just memes and shit that we see online, shit that you could already see. But what's our commentary on it? And that's what made the Workaholic so funny. It was just all the random bullshit that was on there. Actually, believe it or not, I thought rap wouldn't last long.
I think rap is more structured, and I think that's why I'm not gonna, because I told Johnny before, I feel like the rap episodes, there's more structure, and I feel like because there's constant content coming out that y'all have, and it's topical, and y'all really don't veer off too much.
No, because it all stays around music, and I knew it had some longevity, but at the same time, it's like I didn't want to just talk about current events. A lot of it was like timeless think pieces that I wanted to do. Like, what do we think about yada yada yada.
And y'all have done a lot of those, and I think y'all had to address the current beefs and stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of this goes down in history, like the beefs. This will be one of the greatest rap beefs of all time, the whole Kendrick and Drake thing, because it exposed a lot. A lot of it was lies, but did we care about it for the sake of entertainment value?
Clearly, we didn't.
Yeah, no, because we really enjoyed it. But at the same time, it's like I mentioned it on previous episodes. I mentioned it on other people's episodes, but rap got started way before Workaholic did. I just never executed it. I remember there was a conversation in the warehouse that we worked like 12-hour days, and I asked a conversation at the very beginning of the day. I asked a question, and everybody in that warehouse was fucking yelling at each other, like, because everybody had a different answer. And and I was like, man, this should have been a fucking podcast episode, because I would listen to podcasts. And that's why I was like, man, one of these days I should create a music podcast. And the question was, put every rapper in the prime of their careers, who's on top? Every rapper in their prime, not like.
And that's where the human mind goes to whoever you thought was the hardest in their prime. Yep. And so that's when.
And that's why everybody was arguing, and everybody was like, because actually the original question was everybody with the exception of Eminem, who was the biggest, and then that's when the fight broke out. Eminem, even if Eminem was in the conversation, why would you think Eminem would be on top? Like, hell no. Like, I was amazed, because I was like, everybody was quick to say Eminem. But I was like, in their prime, bro, like, Wayne had a bigger prime. Tupac had a bigger prime. Jay-Z's prime was Huge as fuck.
That's always one of my arguments. When was Jay-Z the greatest rapper alive?
Jay-Z was always number 2.
Yeah, that's the right answer, because like I've seen they're like, okay, when was he there's a reel on Instagram about it, and it says, well, if you talk about right here, well, actually this guy sold more albums and went platinum faster and sold more tickets. If you talk about this time, and they put like Nelly was
They broke
on top.
it down.
Yeah, they broke it down. Nelly was on top at one point. Ludacris was on top of him. Eminem was on top of him.
I always think everybody knew though Jay-Z was number 2. I think the fact that he was number 2 for so long, is the fact that he was always on the top for so long. He may not have been number 1, but he was always at the top.
Yeah,
which would introduce him to this conversation of is he probably one of the greatest rappers of all time.
But I think
if every year. What are you, Eagles? If every year, thank God, 'cause I did not want to say this hypothetical about the Cowboys. If every year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, every fucking year, is that not a conversation?
Yeah.
Even if they don't win every year,
yeah.
If they made the Super Bowl every fucking year, that would be a conversation.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Jay-Z deserves to be in that conversation.
Yeah, and I think that's why. I think that's the other argument in that is geographical, because if you're down here in Texas and you were here for the Mike Jones, Paul Wall, Chameleon Air, Slim Thug run, and you're from Houston, like you're gonna pick one of those guys in their prime and say, "No, they were the greatest." And really, it's not. They weren't. It was just
because they were huge and
geographically
they represented us.
Exactly.
But when Jay-Z came down to the South and started rapping with a lot of the rappers from down south, he got a little bit more
that UGK Big Pimpin'. That really down here, that really took him to that next level.
Yeah, but even though he was that fucking level already up there in the north.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. A lot of it is just from setting to setting, place to place,
and
location
there's
to location.
people that'll die on that hill for their guy. That no matter, like, bro, I never jammed DMX. I never put DMX on, but I would listen to some Trick Daddy. And there's a lot of people that never liked Trick Daddy, but I did. But it was just one of those random. That wasn't even geographical. I don't know why I like Trick Daddy. I couldn't tell you why I started listening to him. I can tell you why I started listening to Little Flip or Big Tut or Tum Tum at the time.
Yeah, but also we live in a state where Texans are just proud.
This is true. It's a whole nother country.
Yeah, it is, because you don't go to Oklahoma and they're not crazy proud to be Oklahonians or whatever the fuck they're called. but there's a Texas flag everywhere. Like, and not to say that California isn't proud of being California, but there is a huge pride when it comes to Texas, and I think that's why the Texans always support Texans. I'm not a huge fan of Beyonce, but because she's from Houston, I'm gonna support. You know what I mean? I'm not a huge fan of. There's a lot of people that I'm just fans of them just because they're from Texas, and I'm hoping they blow big. Yeah. Like Four Bats. I think I said it on the episode, and I didn't even know that Johnny and Hermes, or I forgot if it was just one of them. But they didn't know that he was from Dallas, and I was like, I knew about him maybe 2 months before he became big, because at that time he didn't have a large category of music. He was just really good with whatever small projects he was putting out. And I was put on him by another insider who just focuses on him but underground. And then whenever I started hearing Four Bats and Drake, I'm like, Four Bats from Dallas? Like the same fucking Four Bats? And yeah, they were like, yeah, sure enough, it was the same one. And then I was like, okay, automatically huge fan, great music, and he's from the next town over. Same for Post Malone, even though I think Post Malone is the biggest trader of all fucking time.
Whoa, why? Why is he the biggest trader?
Because he doesn't like hip-hop. He doesn't like rap.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that. I'm not going to argue it.
Yeah,
because
he made his living, and he got his fame, and he got his wealth, and he got his acknowledgement because of hip-hop and because of rap. And yet you're at country concerts performing with the likes of Jelly Roll, which is another amazing artist, but not shunning that area of music, but don't don't forget where you came from. Don't forget your core fans. Like a lot of whatever got you started was because of hip hop and rap. It wasn't because of country and emo music. You know what I'm saying?
He's a country singer now. It's a thing.
Damn cowboy fans! I'm telling you.
All right, man. I don't know how long we've gone, but we're probably approaching 2 hours now.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you got here a little bit late.
Oh yeah.
So
great episode.
We're gonna call this one a wrap unless you got anything else, another topic you want to touch on.
No, I'm good.
Y'all go check out Jay Workaholic on the RIP podcast and the Workaholic podcast by the end of the year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or just check out the old episodes. They're timeless. None of them are on any certain area. We're just talking memes, and you could laugh your asses off. Make sure you start from the very last episode. Don't go to the first episode. It's always cringy.
But yeah, man, check them out. The RIP podcast is weekly. I'll upload on Mondays. And I got to get Aramis back over here.
No, you don't. Just give me back. He's fine.
Well, yeah, Johnny, you can't come back for a little bit.
No, John.
We got to give it like 6 months.
Yeah. Johnny's on timeout. Johnny, he's too busy focusing on banners and introductions. And
hey, but also the intro for this.
Fire. I seen it.
Shout out, Johnny.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Johnny doing his thing. I'm just giving him a hard time.
Yeah, he really is. But that's going to be it, guys. Y'all stay fed. Do I say that anymore? Talk shit in the comments. All that jazz.
All right. Peace.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'm too old to get out of chairs.